I'm about to be so extra with the tour documentation. Set your pussy free.
When I spent 5 days touring with Ani DiFranco, one thing that I really learned walking out of it was the value of lyrics, the value of saying something with your music. I obviously really actively prioritize that in each of my songs. But Ani showed me that you can have people singing along every lyric and holding on to every little moment of each minute of your songs. And they're going home singing those phrases. So either they can go home and sing something oppressive, like what dominates most of the airwaves today, or they could say something that inspires them to be better.
We've been coming to Ani DiFranco concerts for decades and have never had someone capture our attention the way Madame Gandhi captured our attention. You guys are the real deal, and we love you.
Madame Gandhi?
Here.
Lara? I'm here.
I wanted to put together something special for this audience. I didn't want to do the tour as a solo artist. I wanted to put together a band that I felt could help me bring my music to life, but also embody the very female solidarity that I'm talking about on the stage. And so I remember grabbing my best friend, Lara, and asking her if she was available for the dates, and she said yes. And Lara also tour managed the entire thing, which was incredible.
Is your favorite band the Distillers?
Yes.
Have I been paying attention?
Yes.
Do you have a signature on your body of the herd?
Then I asked Alejandra Robles Luna, who I was a fan of when she was the drummer for the Butcherettes, and I saw her play at South by.
Thank you.
And LP Giobbi said yes, and she ended up being a huge Ani DiFranco fan and had grown up in Eugene, which was one of the cities we were playing in, so we had this whole sort of homecoming aspect for her. And then the fifth member of the band was Phoebe McGill, who's an OG guitarist, has toured with Beyonce for many years, and also was the musical director of Beyonce's all-female band a couple of tours ago.
I feel ready!
And so putting this team together who understood and believed in my vision and understood that we're serving a larger purpose felt extraordinary. My project, my central focus point is Own Your Voice. I've always felt that I have a lot to say when it comes to gender liberation and my understanding of what equality even means. For me, it's about valuing the feminine just as much as we value the masculine, because then it wouldn't matter what gender identity you are, because one wouldn't connote oppression while the other connotes privilege. If we had something that was equal and its own thing, feminine, masculine doesn't matter, we would feel brave to be our own gender identity. We wouldn't have cis men being so afraid of being called girly. It would be a compliment. So this is the idea of Own Your Voice, and why I also subscribed so deeply to the idea of Rise Up.
in there? Is there someone in there? And
أحضر هواء الدواء بستقبل هواء الدواء أحنا السماجي أحنا السماجي نعرف مش مقبول نعرف مش حادي أنا صوت أنا مادام هاندي نعرف مش مقبول نعرف مش حادي أنا صوت أنا
Madam Gandhi.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, that's the simplest gift to you.
All the security chicks, by the way, which I really like. I've never seen a venue with more security chicks than dudes.
I'm telling you.
And they were like, fuck yeah. And they're like, oh! I was like, here you go, pussy, for your
Sticker.
Put it in your venue, please.
I remember at one show in Eugene, after we had performed, a man came up to us and wrote me a check for $500, just saying, I believe in what you're doing, thank you so much, take this as a token of my support, and I want everyone behind me in line to get whatever they need for free. I want to just sponsor it.
Let's go. How did that happen though? Oh, right there. Okay. I'm like, am I gonna do that? We're like,
Drama on the stage. The other thing that I thought was just so cool was we had this one moment when the van broke down, and it was a diesel operated Sprinter van, and none of us had like dealt with diesel or had to fix a car before, and so it was a really inspiring moment where each of us like just played to our strengths. I remember Ale went into the shop and immediately bought this sort of like this like freezing liquid or something that had run out of the car, and then Lara had found the manual inside the van, so she handed it to me and I started reading the manual and looking at the different lights and indicators that had come on. So then we slowly start opening the van. LP Joby's like holding everything up and filming at the same time.
Okay. How do we know how full it is?
You just keep going till it spills over. That's why it was spilled over last time. It should be half this bucket.
Okay, well, but does it go
slow
that
down.
fast? I'm trying.
No, I'm just teamwork.
Teamwork. We like it.
And we managed to fix our own van, and honestly, it was very badass. I think sometimes even I internalize the belief that like women aren't good at tech or whatever, and as much as I also represent the antithesis to that because I'm here, you know, producing and performing and DJing and all that kind of thing, sometimes we do believe it if it's taught to us that like, oh, leave this to the boys to handle, or you need to bring this to a car mechanic and pay a bunch of money to somebody else to fix your car. And it's like, no, we gotta be brave enough to roll up our own sleeves and step into the fullest of our power in every aspect of life.
Never seen a seal in my whole life. Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. Everything is plaka, everything is shaka. Everything is plaka, everything is shaka.
I think there's a lot to be said about established musicians supporting the next generation and not embodying that competitive spirit that has traditionally torn female acts apart.
Thanks, you guys, and let's give it up one more time for Madam Gandhi and her crew.